You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, Bold fans, it's your girl Belinda, and we are finally getting Thomas Forrester back. But he is not going to be the same guy as when he left town, running to Paris, running from heartbreak after Hope Logan rejected his second marriage proposal. We are going to dive into what's this big life change that he comes back with. But first, please subscribe if you're not following us already. Thanks so much for supporting the channel. Okay, the last time we saw Matt Atkinson as Thomas Forrester, it was March 28th, I think. And here we are, June 21st, depending on when you're listening to this, that's when it publishes. You may be later. So anyway, about 3 months after he left, and he's finally coming home back to Los Angeles. And the actor, Matt Atkinson, said he really enjoyed his time off. He took an extended honeymoon with his new wife. He said they were spending time as a couple, just adjusting to married life, adventuring, living his best life, hanging out with his dog, all that good stuff. And we reported here his return to the set 4 weeks ago after he posted a photo from his dressing room where you could see the monitor behind him that shows what scenes they're filming that day. Lawrence St. Victor was in the shot, and Matt commented, I think something about him being a scene stealer. It was really cute. And here we are, weeks later, and it's finally Matt Atkinson's first return air date as Thomas on Friday, June 21st. Not only is Thomas back, but it seems like he shows up just in time, hopefully, to save Hope Logan from her, personal lusty demons that she's battling. She's still crushing on Finn despite her mother Brooke's warning to forget him. So yeah, Hope could definitely benefit from Thomas and Douglas's return. But will Thomas return still madly in love with Hope and wanting to marry her? Maybe not. Fans seem to be either wildly in support of Thomas and Hope or wildly opposed to Thope. But either way, I suspect we are headed towards a reunion once he's back, but maybe a slow burn, a bumpy road. We'll see. And what's interesting is some spoilers that Matt Atkinson spilled while talking to Soap Digest recently. And one of the things he talked about was what all went on while Thomas was gone and whether or not Thomas is aware of all this. I mean, he likely knows that Sheila Carter resurrected because he's been talking to his dad, Ridge. He's been talking to his sister, Steph, on the phone. And it seems like they would definitely tell him about that given how anxious Sheila's comeback is making Steffi. They also probably told him Deacon married Sheila and how they think he's an idiot for putting a ring on that nine-toed menace. Some things, though, he might not know, like that Bill is Luna's daddy, meaning Liam has a new sister, and that Brooke just got a powerful new position at Forrester Creations. And of course, he won't know that Hope is all hot and bothered over Finn, Thomas's brother-in-law. I will say this, and this is kind of funny. Hope seems to have a type, lusting after her ex-stepbrother Thomas and now lusting after her new stepbrother Finn. Kind of gross, but it seems to be her current thing when it comes to who she wants warming her sheets. And don't forget, Thomas really wanted to marry her. He left heartbroken after Steffi basically shoved him out the door to the airplane tarmac. And then he's had 3 months to do some deep thinking, some recovery, some evolving. So on his return on Friday, here's what I suspect. And if you've seen the episode already, when you listen to this, bear in mind, I've not seen it yet because this was recorded before the episode. So I suspect that we won't find out what the big Thomas Forrester shocker is on Cliffhanger Friday. I tend to think we may get him back at the end of the episode, sticking his head into the CEO office and saying, I'm back, rather than him showing up at the top of the episode and having an entire Thomas episode. But we'll see. That's how I suspect they do it. That's how I would write it if I were writing it. Make the Friday bombshell his return, and then on Monday you get more. And here's what Matt Atkinson said about his character. Thomas has had one particularly very large change in his life since he left town, and when he comes back, it is something that shocks everyone. So that begs the question, what change in Thomas's life would shock everyone? I mean, it could be something benign like him shaving his beard, although I doubt that since it was still firmly attached to his face in that photo he showed from his day back on set. It could be something as simple as he says, I'm over Hope. I won't date her again. I won't pursue her. I've moved on. There's nothing there for me, and I see that now. That might be shocking. Given how obsessed Thomas has always been, that's pretty stunning, but I don't feel like that's it. You know, he was so happy when they were finally together, so, I mean, that would work as a shocker, but what I'd really, really like to see is Thomas coming home with a new woman in his life, and I'd be doubly thrilled if it were Ivy Forrester. Remember, Bold made such a big deal about bringing back Ashley Brewer, and then she lunched with Liam, kissed him, annoyed Steffi, and then she evaporated after, 2 episodes? And it was kind of like, what was that? Why bother? Weird. Not only did Ivy have a thing for Liam back in the day, but she also had a mad crush on Thomas. And in case you wonder, no, Ivy and Thomas are not biologically related. I'd really like to see Thomas return either engaged or already married, whether it's Ivy or a beautiful Parisian woman, whether it is, Paris Buckingham, it doesn't matter. I think Hope needs a reality check to snap her out of what's going on. And before Thomas left, Hope knew that he wanted only her, and that gave her all the power in that relationship. But when she refused that proposal, something in him snapped, and I think she broke his heart, and it made him realize this isn't healthy for me, this imbalance, and the imbalance wasn't great, but the whole thing overall was just not healthy for him. But if Hope's got to, shove aside this crush on Finn and fight to win Thomas back from a new lady in his life, that could be really a very interesting dynamic, I think. So wait to see if Thomas blabs his big life change on Friday, if he says, I'm back and I brought a wife or a fiance, but I still expect the reveal of this shocker won't come out until the following week so that we get the big return boost on the ratings on Friday and then a further boost next week. And I'm really hoping to get a Thomas-centric promo this week as well. And of course, I will share the promo with you when I do the weekly spoilers as always. So be sure to check out Matthew Atkinson as Thomas with his first air date, Friday, June 21st. Drop your comments. What do you want to see with Thomas's return? Be sure and subscribe if you're not following us already, and definitely come back soon. And as always, it's Belinda from Soap Dirt.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.